Good morning. I was up before 3 o'clock this morning and didn't come to the computer till past 3:30 after my time in the meditation room. Anyway, the title that I chose for this morning immediately coming out of the meditation room before I had checked any emails or anything else was Seeing Truth in a World of Lies. And this is the blurb that I wrote. As I talked with my father in the meditation room this morning, once again I reminded him of how it is to be a human on planet Earth. It's such a struggle for most, even those that do remember where we came from, more or less, to see truth in a world where most everything we have been told is a distortion of reality. Virtually nothing is as it appears, which is why, once again, I call for a peaceful transition between these ages. With all my heart, I want everyone to get an opportunity to know the truth for him or herself, so that each can make an informed decision about how to proceed in regard to the incoming cosmic energies. I am not among those advocating for a harsh cleansing that will cause major disruptions on the planet's surface. First, we need full disclosure of the truth of Earth history. What precipitated this is yesterday I had a couple of people actually, one specifically and one implicitly, tell me that what they see in the future is pretty catastrophic Earth changes. When I told one of these people that I was going to a concert which was a benefit to rebuild the dragon on the pointed end of Merritt Island here in Florida, to rebuild the dragon that a few years ago collapsed and fell into the river, or intercoastal waterway, which is what it really is. She said, "Why bother? Florida's going to be underwater in a short time." And the other person invited me to lunch, although I had to take a rain check, because there were things that she sees coming that she doesn't feel she could share with most anybody, but she feels she could share them with me. And I had the feeling that what she was seeing again was catastrophic events upon the planet Earth. And I know there are lots of seers and lots of people that are into esoteric and spiritual and metaphysical matters that see quite violent shifting, quite violent changes upon the planet. And of course, this is propagated as fear porn by the powers that have been in control, because they derive much of their energetic sustenance from the fear of humanity. And I recognize this as being true on the planet. In any case, before I even proceed further, when I finally started going through my emails, I got one from a friend of mine named Corey. And Corey wrote, "Hi Ron, I thought you might want to put this in your next video blog. Wrote it in spirit so others will connect because it's universal." Smiley face. What if what you believe to be truth is not truth? What if even the truth that seems to be truth still is not truth? What if we box ourselves in through the act of adopting a certain belief? Beliefs are based on personal perception, which becomes personal truth. Real truth, however, is universal. Politics, religion, and all things that they control through beliefs that become personal truths dressed as universal truths. The truth is, all those were handed down by man. Man who loves twisted truth because it excites the animal in man. If the so-called truth is like water, then it's universal truth. What is complicated most of the time is not truth, and what is simple is truth. Paradoxical. The truth is this: all there is love and hate. So if a truth or belief produces a flame of love within you, then that is truth, for love is universal and all is light. Even this is not all truth, for me writing in absolute is my personal truths and beliefs, which in reality are not my truths of beliefs, for I don't believe in beliefs. Corey, I don't believe in beliefs either. And the truth is, for me, some of that which I think is probably true is still in the realm of beliefs, because I'm not certain. Of this, though, I am certain. What you said, that it's all about love, you said love and hate, but for me, it's all about love. And that which is not of love is not truth. Anything that's of fear is not truth. Now that doesn't mean that we can't see things as they are and call them by whatever name signifies that we understand the nature of something. For example, someone challenged calling the GMOs and this whole process terrorism. It is terrorism. I mean, they're poisoning and manipulating our food that poisons us. That's terrorism. It is what it is. That's not spreading fear. It's telling the truth. But the point that I'm feeling, and the point that I was feeling in the meditation, and in my prayer this morning as I talked to God, was that it doesn't seem that it would be fair to start the whole lot of shaking going on the planet Earth, making large bodies of water disappear under, or large bodies of land rather, disappear underwater, and other Earth changes that wipe out significant segments of human population. That just doesn't seem like it would be proper to do until we have disclosure of our history, until we are told by Jesus, by the Buddha, and by these Muhammad and these personages that are highly respected by great numbers of people in belief systems, to tell the truth. I believe, hear what I said, I believe, because I resonate with it, that all humanity was seeded from other planets. We are all extraterrestrials having a terrestrial experience. I believe that. I believe that God creates through other created beings. I believe that. I don't believe any human was created specifically and only by God beyond everything else. We all came into being through other created beings. That's my belief. And we all chose to come into this physical world with amnesia. I've been listening to various things still from the Urantia book, and it talks about the incarnation of God in flesh, and Michael of Nebadon etc., becoming Jesus in his seventh incarnation. It wasn't his first, it was his seventh incarnation on planet Earth. And this time he chose in the seventh incarnation to come in as a baby and be born and grow up as a normal human being, of normal parents, of not of a virgin birth, but of actual impregnation of Joseph, of Mary. And that's the Urantia book story. Do I believe it? I don't know what to believe in many cases, because I do resonate that Jesus came and gave up all of his previous knowledge of who he was, and he had to learn and remember as a human being. And I do believe that's the pattern. And I do believe that many others since that time and before that time were also sent from God to live human lives in the flesh without getting a lot of extraterrestrial help or angelic help, at least not in a way that would be beyond belief. In other words, many of the experiences that I've had in my life, I've had them. They impacted me. But as time passed, there was a wonder, did I really experience that? What did it really mean? Did I interpret it properly? There's still a lack of clarity, a lack of knowing for sure. And to me, at this time in the evolution of our species, the evolution of humanity, the evolution of Earth itself, there needs to be plainly disclosed the truth, so that it's beyond lies, it's beyond belief, it's beyond religion, it's beyond even our scientific religions, because much of that is still theory, which means I think. I think. Do we know? For me, I want to know. And I want everyone to be able to know and make a conscious choice, a free will decision that's beyond distorted reality. I want that because I love everyone. I don't just love Christians or Jews or Muslims or Hindus or Buddhists or whites or blacks or Orientals or Occidentals or natives I love all the world. And I want all the world to be told the truth. That's what I want. That's the longing of my heart. That's why I always argue for love and not separation. Why I always argue for a peaceful transition and not cataclysm. I hold that before God time and time again throughout my life because I care about you. And I don't care if you're one of the Illuminati that's spying on me and others, trying to maintain the status quo of the lies. You're still my brother or sister. You're still a child of God in my eyes, because we all are. That's all there is. There's only God's children. There's only God's creation. And it's so far beyond what we've been taught. And none of us have all the pieces of the puzzle. None of us know all the answers. None of us. I don't either as a human being. But I choose to know the truth, because the truth will set me free. The truth will set all of us free. but we have to be told the truth. And it's hard to see truth when you live in a distorted world where everything, virtually everything, is a lie. And we're recognizing how much we've been lied to by every system of the world. We've been told lies. We've been deceived. That's the truth. And I say that lovingly. There is no true religion. It doesn't exist. Never did. Never did. Never did. Truth is being love. Because love is the ultimate foundation of all that is. That I believe to be a universal truth. And that which created all things is love. And we call it God. And that's beyond religion and beyond everything we've been taught. It's a word, but it's a word that's potent and meaningful to me because it conveys a universal principle that creation is ultimately good, and God and good are the same thing, the beneficent one. I guess that's it for today. I trust again that you will ponder what I've shared, and I thank you for listening. Namaste.